Hey everyone, I'm seated here with Anderson Francisco. Thank you for joining us. And my whole thought behind this was just to get to know you a little bit better about your story, about how coming to America you had nothing, but then you grew into something that you have today. And of course, you guys will hear more about that. But share with us a little bit about how it all began and how you were able to get, to America from surviving and then also thriving where you currently are now today.
Thank you. Well, it all started when I first landed in America. I was just trying to go to college.
Yeah.
And to pay for college, I started working overnight, doing cleaning. I used to get paid like $5 an hour overnight, and that was crazy. And the first opportunity I had to work as the helper of a painter at $10 an hour seemed amazing to me.
That's double what I'm making.
Yep. And so I embraced it. I embraced it with a lot of positive energy, and in 3 months I decided to start finding my own clients, and that's how the story begins. The difficulties I went through was because I didn't know how to transition from an employee, worker type of mindset to business owner.
Let's talk a little bit about the poverty mindset as opposed, survival versus thriving. So there's two different differentiators there. So share with us firsthand what it felt like when you were in survival state, but then also now that you're starting to grow a company, grow a team, and having to be a leader. So share with us a little bit of the differentiation.
We both heard that we tend to become the 5 people around us, right?
Yeah.
I became the 5 generations before me. It was generations of surviving. When we needed to buy a new shoe for myself or one of my siblings, my parents would walk for hours downtown looking for the cheapest shoes ever. Fast forward when I'm in America and I'm an entrepreneur, or I think I'm an entrepreneur, I'm thinking that I will only be able to sell my products if I am the cheapest painter ever, because that's all I knew.
Yeah.
I only knew people that would purchase anything or any goods if they could afford it. And that was very problematic for me as a business
Show us
owner.
what your shoes look like now. This is going to be good. Look at these shoes. Real nice. So it's funny because you're coming to America, literally living in a position where shoes, I mean, this is super small, right? Because you can talk about anything for that matter. But you're going from the cheapest thing. So share with us a little bit about the adversity though that you face within your mind as how you make that transition, because that can be really difficult. There's a constant voice inside of you, subconsciously that says, well, I am less than, because that's what I was raised in. So how do we make that transition?
There was a period in my life after 4 years of trying to grow and trying to do painting, drywall, and all that stuff, chasing money.
Yes.
I finally got tired. I had a major breakdown and suicidal thoughts started to creep in.
Okay.
It isn't that I wanted to die. I just didn't want to live like that anymore, and I didn't know how to get out. But I had a 10-month-old daughter, the most beautiful thing, the cutest thing ever. And I think I had a vision. I was one day fishing, and in my brain I thought that, well, what if my life is over? And what if in 100 years from now I meet my daughter in heaven, and my daughter hugs me and says, oh, I missed you so much, but why did you leave me?
Why did you leave?
Why would I tell her? I would say, because I couldn't afford. When I had that thought, I envisioned my daughter saying, but Daddy, in all those 10 months of life that I had, didn't you really see what really made me happy? It was you. So that was the number one thing. I learned that we, as human beings, we are very important. We are not here to prove ourselves to be important. We are born special.
Yeah.
And I was born special to my daughter. So I decided to stay, but I wanted to stay happy. So I immersed myself in excellent books. Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn's self-help books, Think and Grow Rich. And one pattern I noticed in those books is that everyone had gone through a major breakdown before they became successful. And I connected to that.
There are driving factors that everyone goes through, right? And that sounds like in your story was one of the huge drivers that propelled the current area that you're in, and we'll get to that, right? But
yes.
I just want to make sure that people understand that success isn't just about, you know, posting on social media with what we're going to do with this. Of course, people are going to hear and see this, but it is all of the behind the scenes, right? Like the suicidal thoughts, right? The am I worth what I'm actually stepping into? Because every step that we take, that we, in essence, the territory that we grasp for, we will come up against equal opposition. There's opposition that we face as equal or greater than the success we seek. So it's understanding that when we take that first step, then, you know, having an expectation of what that is, and we grow through it. So anyway, just some thoughts, but share with us a little bit about how, once again, you've got from this Brazil poverty mindset. Now you went through some various thoughts, you know, as well as actions though that you've taken. So currently you're working at you're working as a painter, and you're really kind of crushing it, because you said you had a lot of focus, energy, and positivity in that area, but then you started to build your own business. So share with us about your own business.
And then it became a nightmare.
Okay.
Because I went from a happy employee, thinking that I was a business owner, but in reality, I was still with this scarcity mindset. And all I could think of was that the more jobs I get, the more money I'll make. But the more jobs I got, the less time I had, the more stress I had, the less money it takes. Yeah, it was a nightmare, because I didn't know how to charge. I didn't know. In my mind, it was like, if I'm having a hard time closing on a job now that I'm cheap, if I charge more, people are not going to hire me, because who am I?
Yep.
That was a cancer mindset.
Okay.
That nearly killed me.
Share with us how you get over that, though. We've got to have some good news.
Oh yeah, after that breakdown, like I said, I immersed myself in those books. I realized that every successful person had gone through a major breakdown, and that just by believing in acting according to positive beliefs, they were able to overcome that. So the first thing I did is I gave up on my old self. I gave up on my old beliefs, and I started to believe blindly in those tiny little cliche things that we hear. Vision, writing down your goals, doubting your doubts first. Because one day I was like, okay, maybe I can become a millionaire. Maybe I can build a big business. Then that voice comes, but no. Anderson, but you don't even have money. I would say, shut up. Yeah. This is part of my past. If other people have done it, why can't I? So just this habit of believing in the positive thought rather than the negative one started to make a difference.
So important. So for you guys out there, it's why can't you? Why can't I? Why can't we step into the next season of the growth we want? You know, and I think that more people that ask that question, the more successful they really are, because they continue to ask the what if, and then like, why can't I, right? And they'll step into those scenarios, and then they'll attract the right people around them. And you know, that's what I am appreciative of you. Number one is, you know, we're building an event, you know, together, and it was all about, you know, attraction of the person or the people that you want to be around, but also the person you want to become. Yeah. And it's important that we step into that person boldly, right? Sometimes it takes an investment of time and money, but when you take a step into that and you go full-fledged, there's so much reward to that. So share with us a little bit about the investment you're making in your personal self, as well as the business now that you've grown. So share with us, about your personal and business.
The reason why I love what you do, and I really want to be part of the Palooza Breakfast, is because you bring to the room people with the same mindset. People who want to connect with good people and want to grow. In my story, when I started to learn about those things, I had to overcome the demons inside my mind. Then I had to overcome the negative thoughts of people who still had this scarcity mentality. So I had lots of negative people around me that would first point out to me why my plans were going to fail. And I noticed that I was in the wrong environment.
Yeah.
So I started to seek people with the right mindset, and that made a huge difference in my life. So today, I am a hunter of positive environment.
Yeah.
And I recognize an excellent one when I meet it. And the Palooza is an excellent one.
Well, that's where you are currently today, and then how you've built Anderson Builders. So share with us about Anderson Builders, the team that you're creating, and then what is the future of Anderson Builders?
So Anderson Builders, for the last few years, we've been doing major remodels. This year, we're breaking ground in our first home. We want to become a builder. And as any successful business owner knows, it's all about finding the right people, motivating them, and sharing your vision clearly with them. That's all I do today.
Yeah.
I just show them that it's not about money, but about creating value through Anderson Builders. And clients see that. Mm-hmm. Workers see that. It's awesome when your business is out there and you have many calls from clients wanting to do projects, but it's even better when you have so many calls of people wanting to work with you.
Yeah.
And that's
well, it motivates me too, just seeing you on the outside, but then also hearing a little bit more of your story, right? Coming from Brazil, just buying the cheapest shoes, to now doing, hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue, with your business, and big jobs, right? We just talked about a cool job that you got over in Park City, Utah, which once again,
$120,000 remodel. Can you believe that?
Well, and it's funny because you said, well, the bigger the bill, the more you leave at Home Depot. So shout out to Home Depot. But it's it's interesting because that's what people don't see. Once again, They don't see the behind the scenes, and all the expenses and whatnot. But it's the way that you can manage. If you're in the game, you're in the arena, in business. So you're setting yourself up for success because you're in the position to do so. Isn't that crazy? Because you were in a position in Brazil to only buy the cheapest things,
unfortunately,
and make the least amount of money, right? So what is your next steps to be able to impact the other people that you know from back home? Because it's got to come full circle, you know what I mean?
Growing up in poverty was bad, but there's one thing that was worse: not knowing that I could get out of there. When I look back in my 14-year-old self, how much I wish I had someone to sit down with me and say, hey, I know that life sucks, but you were born to shine and you can get out of it. I can't go back in time, but I can go back to Brazil. I can go back to those communities. Part of the reason why I aim to become more and more successful isn't necessarily the money, but it's breaking through and proving to those other people that it's possible. It's more like I want to be an example.
Yep.
I want to sit down by those hopeless boys and tell them, I was born here.
Yeah.
If I did it, you can do too. I always get the chills when I think about this.
No, you give me chills too, just because I know it's possible. I've seen it myself. You've seen it, right? We're seeing these things that are exponentially growing, and it's by the grace of God as well. And it gives you peace of mind knowing that everything is going to be okay, but you're going to go through trials. You're going to go through storms, right? Just like what we talked about. But I just want to say thank you so much for taking a little time to sit down, have a chat. And there really was no too big agenda, but other than impacting those that are watching this in a very real way. Just because in today's society we've got a lot of flash and ads, and it's not all about that. It's about getting down to the heart, and then also we can work tactfully in our business, right, with strategy and those that we know. But yeah, this is very good. Any last words for the audience or people that are out there?
Well, yes, I have come very far from where I started, but I'm still so far from where I want to be. So it's cool to have learned the principles and to know that now I get to apply them and to achieve even more, and now with good partners.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you. And guys, if you like this video and if it's been impactful, feel free just to tag entrepreneur or share the video on your social. So take it easy.